Hello there, friends. Duke of Hayes here. Thank you once again for allowing me into your homes. This is the end of week 10. This is September 1st. This is the weigh in check in video for September 1st, 2024. Sorry, there was something crawling on me and the cat's here, and this video definitely seems like it's not going to be recorded without any sort of interruptions or distractions. But I am Duke of Hayes. I'm a 36-year-old dude from New Mexico in the United States of America. I've been overweight my whole life, and this year, the year of the dragon, the third year of the dragon that I've been alive, I decided to take my health into my own hands, and I've been actively trying to lose weight. I started this journey at 231 pounds. I'm down to 215.8. Here's the weigh-in.
This is the weigh-in video for September 1st. $215.8.
I don't remember what last week's weigh-in was, but yes, we're at 215.8 currently. So yeah, that puts me down 15 pounds and some change. I don't know. I guess good news I'm not a very excitable person, just because I've learned to temper my expectations. I never get my hopes up for anything. I've always been kind of a pessimist, unfortunately. Too many experiences have made me more pessimistic than optimistic, but I hope for the best, which I know is, I just said I'm a pessimist, but like, I don't know. It's not that I'm pessimistic. I feel like my expectations are more realistic. Like, until I know for sure something is happening, I'm not like gonna, hold my breath, kind of thing. But I auditioned. I applied for a government job, and my application was accepted. And I have an interview. Not an interview. I have to take an exam 2 weeks from Wednesday, and then if I pass that exam, I don't know if they say they'll schedule me for an interview. Maybe that's what they said. I'd have to check the email again, but either it puts me in the pool of applicants to be interviewed, or after that I'll be in the interviewing stage. But that's an email I got last week. Probably towards the middle of the week, I think I got. It was on the 30th, so no, 2 days ago. Was it Friday? 2 days ago? Yeah, it was. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. I need money. Everybody needs money, but this house is in disrepair, and we're a single income household right now. We're single income, no kids, and I need to help my mother. That's just what it is. Like, I need to help her. Ever since I was a kid, I promised I'd find a way to take care of her, and so that's what I'm doing. It's just that, like I've said countless times before, living here, there's not a whole lot of work that is like satisfying work. I never envisioned myself as a library assistant, but it's a government job. Usually you get government holidays off. I don't think you really get weekends off, because the library is open on weekends, I'm pretty sure. But so we'll see. Hopefully I pass that exam. I don't have no idea what's on it. They don't really give you any sort of indication of what might be on that exam. If it's just a general knowledge exam, I haven't had to take any sort of exam for 7 years now. So even then, in grad school, I didn't really take exams. I had to write papers. It was always about final papers, which gagged me with a spoon. But that's what's new outside of the weight loss. I've just sort of been feeling down in the dumps. Like, right now I feel very low energy, just because I had a bunch of carbs today. I shouldn't have had them. Had pancakes, and I had potatoes, and I had bacon. That's what my breakfast was. So right now I feel very tired because I'm sure my blood sugar spiked and now it's coming down, so I feel hella low on energy. But I don't know if you're watching this. What do people expect from a weight loss journey? Do you expect me to show you me exercising? I can do that. It's not going to be very interesting. You're just going to watch me walking in a circle for an hour and 15 minutes, or maybe just a little tiny amount of footage of me walking. I can show you my step tracker. It's not going to have the most current steps, but the last time I walked was on Thursday. Friday was leg day. For my leg exercises, I'm doing 10 sets of 21 reps. I'm finally able to do lunges now. That's cool. I can do, well, not a full lunge. I can do like a reverse half lunge. So I did 21 reps of those, 21 reps of deadlifts. I'm using 8-pound weights. I could go up to like maybe 10-pound, but I'm not trying to bulk up. I'm just trying to get definition. And squats. And I got to the point where I'm using weights on my shoulders whenever I'm doing squats. So that's what leg day was. My legs are still sore 2 days later. So tomorrow, if my legs are still sore, then I'll do arm day. But yeah, I don't know what is a typical. I'm not losing faith. I'm not losing hope. I haven't cheated in terms of like eating out. Like I only eat out once a month. And so it's sometime this month, maybe we'll eat out. I don't think, I'm not counting on it just because eating out is very expensive these days. It's crazy how expensive fast food is. So it's also saving us money in the long run by not doing that, and it's healthier for me. But I guess this will be now the vlog side of things. Kind of like just a mental vent sesh. I see my therapist in 4 days, so I haven't really seen her since last month. But like I haven't really needed to. I've felt a little blue just because views are down. I don't know what people want. I guess I had it in my head like this grand vision. Oh, I'll be a weight loss success story and I'll get lots of views. But like I guess not, right? Like what would make people want to see me? Are the thumbnails not clickbaity enough? Do I need to show myself like Patrick without, a shirt on and my fat folds? Like, is that what is going to get clicks? And is it just going to draw harassment from people to come and tell me how bad I look, how fat I am, this and that? And like, even hate comments are engagement, right? But like, I don't know if I want to expose myself. I guess it's the internet and you're exposing yourself regardless. So I'd always like hoped that, I wouldn't have to show myself to like everybody, right? That like people who found me would just be like my own little personal corner of the internet, and we would have similar interests and senses of humor and stuff. And that hasn't really panned out. Like I said, the last weight loss video only got like 1 view on it, so maybe people just don't care, which who am I? It doesn't bother me that people don't care. The part that bothers me is not building an audience and not earning money. That's the part that bothers me. But people not caring about me when I'm a stranger to them doesn't bother me because they don't know me and I don't know them. It's just been rough because it feels like, I don't know, I made a mistake by shifting my content more towards reviews and story videos, which I haven't even started on the story video from Divine Divinity just because I've been busy with other things. Like video editing takes up a huge chunk of time. Like I can get like maybe 2 videos done in a day, like sifting through footage, editing out like bad portions of me, trying to add funny little, my humor is very referential, so in my more recent videos you'll start to see more and more of that because I started upping my editing game, and that's very disheartening when those videos aren't getting views. And it's like, the time it takes from me to put all that stuff together is I'm not getting the same out. Like, what I'm putting in, I'm not getting out in terms of return on investment. I'm not getting any ROI for my time. And so that's a major blow to my confidence, blow to my enthusiasm for content creation, because my time isn't being rewarded, and time ultimately is all we have, right? And if my time is being invested in something that's not paying off, it's going to be harder for me to continue to want to invest my time in something. So, I don't know. I always fear asking people what they want because I don't know if I can give them what they want, or I don't know. I'm a very shy person. Like, talking to strangers is hella nerve-wracking to me. It's like, you're watching my video now, and it's like, well, what do you want to see? I don't know how to vlog because my life is very boring. I'm a very boring person. Like, I couldn't do a vlog because I can't even like create a fake life to hype up and somewhat make interesting, because that's not me. The amount of mental strain that would put on me to pretend to be a different person it's unknown, because I can't even conceive of doing that, because it's inconceivable. I can't conceive of it because it's inconceivable. Like, pretending to be somebody else sounds hella exhausting, so I wouldn't do it. Like, but yeah, I don't know. Viewership on Twitch has been terrible because streaming World of Warcraft is a bad idea, because unless you're already part of the in crowd for that game, you get no viewers, which is fine. It's the business that I've tried to break into. I've been trying to break into this business for probably about 2 years now. This will be the second year. I started earnestly in 2022, right? So the end of this year will be 2 years of extreme, well, yeah, I'll say, like, really trying this whole content creation thing. And a lot of the subs I have on the main channel came from video game stuff, and I've just moved all that stuff to a different channel, and I feel like that was the wrong move. I should have just made that channel for vlogs and the current channel for video game stuff, because that's what people originally followed me for. And I'm being tugged on from both ends, and I feel like I'm ripping myself apart trying to figure out how to approach this content creation thing. I've said it before and I'll say it again, like, gaming content is like not what it once was. At this point I'm appealing to people my age, and people my age don't really care about that shit anymore. And the younger generations don't care about, they don't play games that you have to buy anymore. They play free to play games. Like, they've been conditioned to, like, they like Fortnite, or Minecraft. You technically have to pay for Minecraft, right? But, like, I don't even know if people still like that game. Some do. I don't know. But it's Roblox now. Roblox is free because, these kids, they're growing up without money. Like, their parents don't have money because nobody's getting paid. There's no such thing as a middle class anymore. I grew up, when I was a kid, we were poor, but we had layaway. And so the only reason I ever had video games, the reason why I have my Super Nintendo, which is what started off my whole introduction to video games and stuff like that, was because my aunt heard me talking about, I don't remember this, but she remembers me talking about my friend at the time. His name was Richie. He had a Super Nintendo, and apparently I was sad, or I was talking about how he had one and it was so cool, and my aunt decided to buy me one. She bought me my Super Nintendo. I still have it, as a matter of fact. It's in my closet. It must have been a package, like a combo deal. It was in 95, 96. I was in first grade in when? If I was 5 in 83, it would have been 94. That's when Donkey Kong came out, was 94. Duh, because this is the 30th anniversary. So the Super Nintendo was, at that point, was already like a couple of years old. So it must have been like a combo deal, package deal. What do they call those dudes? I can't even think of what they're called now. But it came with Donkey Kong Country. That was my very first game ever. I remember the very first time I beat it. I came home. I was in 6th grade. I had been trying to beat King K. Rool. And that day I just got to the end and I beat it. And it was like one of the best feelings ever. I was 6 in 84. And, you know, my aunt got me that because she, at the time, didn't have kids. She was single income, and back then, I don't know if the cost of living was as high as it is now. Companies have just gotten more and more greedy as time has gone on. I don't know. At that time, Bush Sr., I think, was still president. Or... No, in 92 it would have been Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton, despite his misgivings and him being a bad husband, the economy was good, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, my brain is, like I said, I feel very tired, no energy. The economy was good in 94, so my aunt bought me that. And then we were poor. Like, my mom, when I was a kid, she wasn't quite working yet because my dad was still working for a little bit. And then right around when I hit 10 or something, 8, 9 or 10, probably closer to 10, she started, basically she took over. Like, she was the breadwinner because by that point my dad was fully taken over by his drug addiction. So he stopped providing for the family, and it was all my mom who had to do stuff. But the only way I had video games was like twice a year, maybe. And that was like on my birthday and Christmas. And that was possible because there used to be this chain of stores that existed when I was a kid. I don't know if they exist anymore. I don't think Kmart is a thing anymore, right? I'm pretty sure Kmart's gone. But at Kmart, they had a layaway system where you promised to buy something, you would go to them, they would hold it for you, and they would give you a payment plan to pay it off. I don't know if they charged you like extra money. It wasn't rent to own because you didn't take it with you. Instead, they took it back there with them. They held onto it. And you would give payments on it throughout the course of like a year or whenever it would happen. Like, probably a couple months it would take to pay it off because my mom would start, well, what do you guys want for Christmas? What do you want for your birthday? And that's how I got stuff. One of the last things I remember getting on layaway was Killer Instinct Gold. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna start getting like depressed just because around this time of year I'm always kind of depressed and sentimental just because for whatever reason September is like where my depression dips and I start to feel real sentimental about things. But we've never really had money, is the point I'm trying to make. And I think part of that is because I don't know, I feel like I've failed a lot of the time, just like I feel like I'm failing right now with content creation and how. Let me finish my thought from earlier. The whole point I'm trying to make is that, like, kids nowadays, their parents aren't making a lot of money, and so they don't have access to video games. Aren't how presented how they used to be. Back then, when you bought a game, it was complete. You owned your cartridge or disc. It was yours. There was no online gaming when I was a kid. There were no patches, for better or worse. You didn't get patched gaming content. How a game came out is how it was for the rest of that game's life cycle. And basically, that's why Pokemon came out with the third version, the famous third version of a Pokemon game. You had Red, Blue, and then Yellow was kind of like their third version. Yellow had better graphics. You could catch different Pokemon, and it was more so aimed towards people who were fans of the anime. Like Pokemon Yellow was my first Pokemon game. And then the next generation, it was Gold, Silver, and then Crystal came out. And like Crystal, as far as I'm concerned, it's like a patch. They patched the original Gen 2 cartridge games, and now because like they added animations, they changed up like which Pokemon. And they used to do that with every generation. Like Gen 3 was Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald was the third one, and everybody says the Emerald's the best one. And then for Gen 4 it was Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Everybody says Platinum was the best one, even though I'm a fan of Pearl. Gen 5 was Black, White, and then Black 2 and White 2. They kind of broke the color scheme. I guess Pokemon Gray wasn't very appealing sounding. And then Gen 6, by Gen 6, that's when they had reached, like, it was the modern age by that point. Like, Gen 6 was at the point where they could patch games. So it was, X, Y, there was no Pokemon Z after that point. And then that's when they started doing the remakes. Although Gen 3 is when they really started doing remakes. Leaf Green, Fire Red, and Gen 4 was Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Gen 5 didn't have one. Gen 6 had the Gen 3 remakes, and then I think, was it Gen 8 when they had the Gen 4 remakes? I don't know. They've been raking, like, Nintendo gets away with a lot of bullshit like that where they just remake their games over and over, and it's too much to keep track of. Point being, for those first 5 generations, that's what we were used to. Is they would just release a better version of it a year or two later. So if you wanted the best possible version of, like, for example, a Pokemon game, you had to wait because you were gonna have to buy it. Like, you didn't get patch content for free. So the point I'm trying to make is that, like, I feel like it's hard for me to appeal to younger generations, even because I don't play stuff like Roblox. I feel like I'm too damn old for that shit, right? Like, I grew up, we're completely separated from one another in terms of our lived experiences. Like I said, when I was a kid, you had to buy games, but the upside to that was you owned it forever. The downside is that anytime a new generation of games came out, you had to buy the new console. So it was Super Nintendo, N64, Nintendo 64, and then it was GameCube, and then the Wii was the last thing I'd ever purchased by them. And then I did get the Switch eventually. But by that point, I was not working. I was in school, didn't have any money, so it wasn't like it used to be. I said all that to say I don't know how to appeal. Like, who is watching gaming content? I mean, I don't even watch gaming content anymore. I used to watch Game Grumps, but then, I don't know, it was unhealthy for me because parasocial relationships and shit like that, and I realized I needed to stop just because, I don't know, you realize how lonely you are whenever, like, your only friend is two disembodied voices on your second monitor. So I had to, like, immediately yeet myself out of that situation because it wasn't healthy for me mentally. So I've been down that rabbit hole where you see people talk about friendship simulators. I've been there. I know what that's like, and that's why I had to stop. Also, I don't know. Can't relate. You stop being able to relate to people. Times change. Now it's like I watch a combination of video essays and random React content, and that's only because it's just random noise on a secondary monitor. Like a lot of people who are like, if I see they upload a new video and I click on it right away, it's probably stuff like Meat Canyon. That dude's younger than me, but a lot of his stuff is like interesting to watch because it's a more relaxed approach to content. Like so like I'll watch him. I watch a lot of like leftist content. I don't want to say too much just because it's not good to really give any sort of political affiliations in this day and age, so I won't say more than that. I won't give specifics, but yeah, if I see something from them pop up, I see like people who like basically review like RuPaul's Drag Race because I don't watch it anymore. And well, yeah, because I'd have to get Paramount Plus to be able to watch it, but stuff like that. That's usually what I watch. I watch Hayden. I don't really watch PokeTubers anymore just because it's a thing in the past. I think Hayden. Well, I don't know who makes that shit. When back in my day, it was Maryland, and I don't think that dude makes videos anymore. Or if he does, I unfollowed him a long time ago. Who was cool and who was in when I was in my 20s have either stopped making content or they moved away from YouTube because it was a sinking ship. And I'm the fool who is still on it, trying to, the time has come and gone. That's how I feel, basically, is the time for me to try this and get anywhere with it, or at least have made my money and been financially secure, came and went 10 years ago. And I don't know, that's really disheartening and sad for me because I get in those feelings where if I knew then what I know now, I would have just told myself, like, stick with it, like, ignore people, like, ban people who put you in a bad place mentally, like, whatever it is you have to take. Like, I'm not part of that bullshit of like, oh, you're just supposed to sit there and let people harass you, or you're supposed to sit there and let people disrespect you, treat you like crap. Like, I've been like that my whole effing life, dude. Like, I'm not interested in doing that anymore, which again is why I'm afraid to make a thumbnail of myself without my shirt, because it would just be inviting all kinds of unwanted attention. So this was a long ass, rambly ass video. I hope you got something out of it. I'm sorry that I was very tired. I'm gonna get back on a better diet. I had pancakes 2 days in a row, so that's probably why I feel like hella out of energy. But for dinner, I'm gonna be eating salad and chicken and brown rice, so that hasn't changed. It's just for breakfast. I got really grossed out by eggs. Like, I've been eating eggs a lot, and like Friday I had an omelet with like 3 sausage links, and they gave me horrible indigestion. I was sick, super sick. It was either Thursday or it must have been that Friday. No, it couldn't have been. It must have been Thursday. What did I have for breakfast on Friday then? I don't remember. But it was probably a sandwich or something, and it wasn't breakfast. It was like a lunch and dinner kind of situation. Thursday, I was super duper sick. I had really bad indigestion. I had indigestion. I had sulfurous burps. It was awful. I had horrible gas. I know, TMI, but so that's kind of put me off eggs. Tomorrow, I'll probably have eggs again, and like whole wheat toast and stuff like that. So, but yeah, sorry this was long in the tooth. Gertrude, this was long in the tooth, and I hope you got something out of it. I'll try to have these more structured in the future. Let me know what it is you want to see from me. There is a video in the works. I am working on Divine Divinity, my review of Divine Divinity, for whatever that's worth, if people are still interested in gaming reviews and stuff. But I'll have a video on this channel at least once a week, a weekly vlog talking about how I'm feeling. And today I'm feeling kind of nostalgic and sad and weepy, but hopefully next week will be better. But if you like the video, please like it. If you dislike it. Please tell me what you would like to see from a weight loss journey / vlogging series. But yeah, thanks for watching, fellas.